They were saying 2.5. This is called Forex Factory. It tells you like economic detail when they come out.
Okay.
So like unemployment comes out at 7:30 today. PPI comes out.
Oh, well, 224.
Yeah, that's right there.
But sounds great, but they don't take into consideration food and fuel. Who wants to buy a roll of film or a camera? Something.
It really is dropping the. This is the waves I've been looking at for 3 years, and this shows you the S&P 500 back in 1872. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, you can see right here was the start of the Great Depression. And so this was the top of the market right here. This is a 6-month. But you see these waves that cut down. These are like the lowest moments of the stock market right here. And these are the peaks of the stock market. But then I have these waves at the bottom that show you some, it's called an impact MACD. Impulse MACD. Anyways, as time goes on, you see the stock market's doing really good. What's happening? And then you hit the 70s. And then when I was born in 72, there was a crash. And so my parents were always arguing about money and how expensive everything was. And I used to sell my lunch about this time at school just so I could save up money. Oh, I don't need this lunch. My parents are worried I'm going to start saving my money. So the market started doing great. And then you can see different times where there's a red bar and a blue bar. The reds, the market's going down. The blue, the market's going up. And then it peaked out. This is called the dot-com recession right here. And so you could see how far the momentum came down during the dot-com recession. But it was nothing compared to the Great Depression where these waves kicked so low. It actually hit the center line and bounced back. So that's why they call it a recession, because it's just a slow time. And then in 2008, it did it again. And it crashed down. And this was like, oh man, unemployment was up there. The housing was going down. People were losing hundreds of thousands of dollars on their house and just taking a loss, walking away, short selling it. Good time to buy a house right then. And then since then, 2012, Bitcoin was invented, right? Because everybody's, I don't trust money anymore. It's not what I thought it was. And so Bitcoin was invented. And then we had one of the longest waves of prosperity we've ever had. And still having that prosperity right now. But you can see that we haven't really had a depression since the 30s when everybody was eating BM bread out of a can. They're just glad to have food at that point. Yeah. But we did have these waves that come down. This yellow line is like a moving average. And this green line is like the money flowing into the market, the stock market, right? And so this is the money flowing. So you can see it peaked right here. In fact, that point was the highest point. The money, that green line is the highest point the money's ever been in the market. And this time also there was baby boomers, right? Are you baby boomer? Awesome. But we got boomers in the house. Boom, boom. Yeah. So the thing is, when the market goes down, it goes down very quickly. When it goes up, it's like it's climbing stairs. So I've always thought it'd be interesting to try to predict a market crash. And you could literally make a fortune. Paul Tudor Jones, he's from Memphis. He made $387 million in 1987 in one day when the market crashed in October of 1987. He made $387 million. He's a billionaire now. Yeah. Yeah. Even in 2001, when the World Trade Centers were attacked, September of 2001, it created another crash right around here. And the people that were attacking it shorted the market. made a lot of money. I think they ended up freezing their bank accounts or whatever. That can happen too. But yeah. So this is just a zoomed in view. And so this is like a monthly. So you can see 2001, it looks like a depression now, but this is only a recession in 2001. 2008, this is another recession. Boom. You can see the bottom. And this all correlates to the price of the stock market. And then 2022, and in 20, we had a recession, little mini recession. And this is where the market is right now. Let me hide this. So actually right now, we have a blue bar, and it shows that it's going on monthly. So that's what's going on. If we look back to 1929, when the depression started, this is where the market was on a monthly basis. This is the very peak right here, October 29. And that was the day it all crashed. The highest money flow, the highest everything, right? In fact, the highest momentum, 98% momentum. It's crazy. Anyways, you look at the actual price of the market, you can't even see it compared to what it is now. This is the market. And this is the price of the S&P 500 right now. It was so small. That's why it's always good to invest in stocks, because over time, they just keep going up, because it's the companies you're investing in, right? So I don't know if any of y'all invest in anything, but I've always found it fascinating. Yeah, you do. Or if you can spot the highs and lows, then you know when to get in. Just something I like to look at.